thought for the day. Turn off any self-talk that tells you that you are destined to live a small life. You're not. Welcome to 7 Minutes for Yourself. I'm Christina Aina, and I'm so glad you've joined me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. Let's take this time to reconnect with ourselves and improve our well-being. In today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself, we are ripping the curtain off of our limiting beliefs in order to address them, progress through them, and leave them behind for good. Have a listen.
And so you are this close to your dreams and goals. So I have to ask you the question. You have the information. Now, what are you going to do with it? What do you have today that you've never had before? And what are you going to do with it? I'm going to say it slower because it's the simplest thing I'm ever going to say. What you already know is why you are where you are. And if you're going to get to the next level, you're going to have to erase everything you knew about what you knew, what you thought you knew. I'm going to say it again because I see some people like, whoa, Eric, I'm trying to catch that one. It is the stinking thinking that got you where you are right now. It is the limited beliefs that have you where you are right now. You have a limited belief. I remember that I thought I could never do this, but only for people who look like me. I remember when I was like 19, 20 and I started speaking, 20, 21, and I would go to historically black colleges and I would kill it. And I remember somebody asking me not to do historically black, but to come out of my particular community, my particular way of speaking, my particular way of doing things. And I'm thinking to myself when I first got there, I was like, whoa, I don't know if I could do this. Like they don't come from where I come from. Like they don't talk like I talk. Like they don't have the experience that I had. I don't know if I have anything to say. And God said to me, you what? What? First of all, son, I'll never forget talking to Les Brown and Bob Proctor. Les Brown was like, yo, you the number one motivational speaker in the world. I wasn't even a number at that time. He said, you the number one motivational speaker in the world. And I remember, I'm not going to say it out loud, but I remember how the conversation started. I actually named somebody that I thought was number one. And he said, how dare you say their name out loud and say they're number one. You're the number one motivational speaker in the world. And you better not ever say they're number one. You're number one. And I said, hold up. What? But I just started speaking. He says, no one on the planet is giving free information away like you giving free information away. Nobody in the planet loves people away. There's no other motivational speaker going to prisons. There's no other motivational speaker talking to 12 kids in a detention center. There's no other motivational speaker going to schools and shaking kids' hands on their way to school and not getting paid a dime for it. Meet them at 6:30 saying, good morning. He said, you are the number one motivational speaker in the world because nobody cares about humans like you care. He said, you ain't even charging, boy. You know how much money you should be charging? Bob Proctor said, how much you charge? I was like, about 5, 10 grand. He was like, what? Bob Proctor said, what? I was like, 5, 10 grand. It was right here in Phoenix when you spoke together. He said, don't you ever do that again. No less than 20,000. No, you're not hearing what I'm saying. And so I remember I got a couple 20s, went back, told Bob Proctor, was like, Bob Proctor, he was like, how you doing, Eric? I'm like, great. How is it going with the fine? I was like, man, it's great. I'm doing 20 now. He was like, I said, you told me 20. He said, I never told you 20. I said, no, less than 20. But your limited beliefs heard. Your limited beliefs heard you say. I didn't say that. That's what your past told you. That's what you getting a GED told you. Your biological father not being in your life told you because you don't value yourself. You think it's tough. I'm telling you, son, there are people in this earth that value you more than you value yourself. They look to you in a way that you don't look to yourself. You will not get what you're supposed to get until you value yourself and you kill all your limited beliefs. So I need you to do me a favor. Just write it down because you don't have enough paper, but write down your limited beliefs. And when you get home, I need you to address them. He said, Eric, I used to be like, God, I don't know if I could do corporate. He said, son, not only can you do it, you must do it. you're going to bring something that nobody else is bringing. And I was like, what do I bring that nobody else is bringing? He said, that message that you think isn't important is so important. And guess what message I was bringing to corporate? I was bringing, so you're a 7-figure earner, but you're not a 7-figure dad. So I challenge you. So I start going to corporate, and the corporate, come please, Eric, we need the message. Why? Because they're not doing well. They're getting divorced. And so it's messing up the company. Eric, we need you. And God said, son, don't look at what somebody else is doing. Value what you're doing. Don't worry about what they bring to the table. Bring what you bring to the table. And some of you are not where you're supposed to be because you have limited thinking. I want to challenge you today. You're just as special as everybody else. You're just as powerful as everybody else. You're just as unique as everybody else. You're just as gifted as everybody else. And you belong in first class just like everybody else. You belong in California. You belong in Dubai, wherever you want to be, you belong there. Somebody asked me the other day, Eric, you live in Michigan. Why are you buying a house in California? I said, because my wife has MS, doing phenomenal. We want to keep it there. What you going to do with your house in Michigan? I said, what do you mean what I'm going to do with it? You selling it? I said, what would I say? Why would I sell my house? Well, how are you going to have 2 houses? Because a lot of other people have 2 houses. Just because you don't have 2. I'm not believing that you can only live in 1 house for the rest of your life stuff no more. Like I'm not hanging out with those people no more. I'm hanging out with the people that got a winter home here, a summer home here, and just want to have a home over here. I'm hanging out with them people now. Like, no, I'm thinking like they thinking now. I'm doing what they doing now. And I start going to corporate getting 50, 60. And when I don't take it, it's because I chose to take less. Because I get to decide. I'm running my life now.
That concludes today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Today and every day with your kiddo is a gift. Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in.